in trade talks. You know it's gonna be a fallout from that. So what do you think is the next move or the best move for the Celtics to do with Jalen Brown moving forward?
Um, I think he's so talented and he's improving it. You can't just give him up for nothing because you know I know he got to be tired of having his name in trade rumors. Like they said, it's the second time they was putting his name out there for KD, putting his name out there for Giannis. So it's probably gonna be some hurt feelings, some tough conversations got to be had. But I don't think you give him up for nothing. But I think if the right deal do come, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that right deal would be, but I don't think it's one player out there right now outside of Giannis you could trade him for that make you better. So I think it'd
Yeah,
have to be multiple players that they just think would make them you know what I'm saying, back top team in the East competing for a championship. And I don't know if that trade is out there. So I think ultimately the best move and the only move is gonna be to call him in and try to fix, you know what I'm saying, whatever
yeah,
uh situation they have between him and the front office and Tatum because he been the way he been moving is like he damn near ready to, you know what I'm saying, move on. But you
right.
can't blame him when you a superstar that keep hearing your name in trade rumors as well. So I think the only move that makes sense is for them to kind of fix whatever fractured relationship they got because like I said, I don't think outside of Giannis, I don't think it's a trade out there that's gonna make
Yeah.
them better.
Yeah, I think, with them not being able to move him, it's almost like you dropped the ball because I mean he's so, headstrong of an individual. It's gonna be hard to bring him in and say anything to him, as far as, like, hey, it didn't work out, let's fix it. I don't think it's no way to really bring him back into the locker room. So you
I
almost
mean,
may
he
have to take a lesser of a deal because I just don't think it's no way because he's feeling like, he should be 1A more than likely. I don't know how he's feeling, but it seems like he feel like he should be 1A. And then you had his name and trade talks multiple times. So what are you gonna tell him to come back and still be 1A, 1B? I feel like he want his own thing. So
I
I don't
mean,
know
but
how you fix that.
they won a championship together. He under contract. It's like what
Yeah,
other, you know what I'm saying? It's like feelings could be hurt. It's always situations where, they gotta be mended. I don't think you just give him up because it's like, we dangled you in the trade. We didn't get Giannis. We know you want to be one. All that's irrelevant. Like he can pay on a supermax deal.
right,
Like, you know
right.
what I'm saying? I don't think I mean, he's gonna show up and he gonna play. And I think, I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I don't know what their relationship is, really, him and Tatum, but
right. It's like he talking. He not playing in China. He's not about to
yeah,
go and play in
I
China.
mean,
He not. He
I
not.
think
That's just talk.
yeah,
You
that's what I'm
know.
saying. Ultimately, and he gonna show up and he gonna play. So it's like whatever hurt feelings, whatever the fallout is, I think he talented enough where you just got to deal with that because I wouldn't move him for lesser talent or you know what I'm saying because the
Right.
championship window only so long.
Right.
So
Right. Right. Right.
I mean, him and Tatum, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think you move off him and bring in lesser talent when you have two legit MVP candidates on your, you know what I'm saying? You tried to
Yeah.
trade him for another, you know what I'm saying, for a two-time MVP. So it's like it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, you was trading him for just anybody. So,
Yeah.
he'll just have to get
You,
over it. I mean, if it was me,
you think currently constructed, like you think they can win a championship? Do they can be
Boston,
back into? Yeah, Boston right now. Currently, how the way they currently constructed.
I think with Jalen Brown on their roster, they closer than him
There's a better chance. Yeah.
without him on their roster. Because I mean, realistically, who do you trade him for?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Giannis was that was the
Yeah.
perfect, but it's like they didn't really want to, they probably didn't want to part with as many pieces as Miami parted with
Yeah, I mean, they didn't
because,
wanna do you know what I'm saying? And you can't blame them, like, but they did have a first team All NBA MVP finalist, so they shouldn't have gave up as much as what it took, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
Miami to give up. So it made sense. I mean, you also gotta have, you know what I'm saying, you gotta have a limit on what you're willing to give because it's like you don't want to gut your whole roster and be in the same position. And I think, like I said, my thought, I don't think Miami gonna be able to build a championship roster around Giannis, but I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't get paid to do this for a living, so.
Yeah.
But my thought is like, who's out there? What they gonna be able to do? Like, you literally then gutted this whole roster and the future to get Giannis. So now,
Mhm.
where's your role players? Where's your bench? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't blame Boston for, having
Yeah.
a hard line on, hey, this what we willing to give, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, if you're not willing to accept that, because I mean they offer what in week.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think the situation can mend itself. I don't think that like, you know, like I said, I know we got no say so in none of this, but I don't think that streaming and being online and talking as much as he do helps anything, because
Well,
you talking for a living, you're gonna end up saying something that, end up coming back and biting you in the ass. And, that's kind of what it looked like, he said this season was y'all just won the championship 2 years ago, but this season was the best season of your life. And now he's saying, people doubting him, like nobody doubted you, like nobody said you can do nothing, nobody against him. It's almost like he's playing victim, but um, like you say, I mean, you're under contract, you're on the super max, so not much they
yeah,
can do. So,
yeah.
yep.